Hi, my name is Rick Olderman. I'm a physical therapist and somatics practitioner, and I'm talking to you today about bursitis and tendonitis. What's going on here? What is a bursa? Well, bursa is just a small fluid-filled sac. It acts as a cushion or a lubricant. And what is a tendon? A tendon just connects muscles to bone. So what's bursitis? Well, itis just means inflammation. There's nothing magical about this diagnosis. So bursitis means inflammation of the bursa. Tendonitis, inflammation of the tendon. Like many medical diagnoses, this doesn't talk about why these things are happening. So to say, what is a stretch for bursitis? Well, it really depends on what's going on. So we have to understand the whys before we understand the hows. Solutions for bursitis and tendonitis can sometimes be really simple. We've all heard stories. Oh, I just went to a massage and it cleared right up. Or I had ultrasound and wow, it just cleared it right up. Or I just rested and it went away. Well, that's nice. It means that there weren't those weren't very complicated issues. But because you're watching this video, you probably have a complicated issue and this kind of stuff hasn't worked for you. So this probably means that we have to figure out the biomechanical sources of your pain or the movement dysfunctions behind what's going on with you. Let's go down to the hip now. For hip bursitis, well, I often find that poor gluteal function or poor butt muscle function is at the source of the issue here. And so what happens, this butt muscle is the primary controller of the hip joint. And when it isn't working, the hip joint starts to slide around and get a little sloppy here, which then causes a lot of stress to the bursa and tendons around the hip joint. With regards to knee or foot tendonitis or bursitis, the way it works is if our calf muscles are nice and long, the knee gets to pass over the foot relatively easy, and the stresses to the foot are minimal in this case. However, if we have a tight calf muscle, it's very difficult for the knee to pass over the foot. And so something has to give because you're moving forward. And so what happens is excessive force is driven down into the foot in this case, or it's driven through the kneecap or the knee patellar tendon here. Walking mechanics can seriously cause stress to the hip, knee, and foot if walking mechanics aren't correct. You'll be figuring all this out throughout the course of this program. Stress is a big contributor. If you think about bursitis and tendonitis as something that's irritated and inflamed constantly, well, stress can be a big deal here because look, here's a woman who thinks that she's relaxed. Does that look relaxed to you? No, it doesn't. So these muscles are contracted because she is unaware of the level of her contraction. Now if we look down here in the neck too, here she is lying down and look how this muscle is just popping out of her neck. Here she is, her head is resting on a pillow and it is still popping off. So she is under a lot of stress and she is unable to relax, and this is adding constant irritation to the bursa, to the tendon, tension to the muscles that are connecting to all of these structures. Well, where do I go from here? Well, you can go to fixingyou.com and visit the top tests and tips and get started on understanding and fixing your pain. You can also go to fixingyou.com and join the interactive online clinic and finally solve all of these systemic issues that are creating your pain. Regardless, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you at the Fixing You Interactive Online Clinic. Thanks.